Hey guys, it's Cassie. It's been a while since I did a junk journal with me video, so I thought I would do today's prompt from Junk Journal September with you guys. It is growth. Today's the 8th, so let's just get started. I have pulled a few things from my stash that, and some scrap papers that I thought would work well for today. That said, I have no idea what I'm going to do, but let's just get started. Okay, so I'm just looking for a page. I know I want a lot of green and botanicals, so this page might work well. I also like this ruler. Like, this is the start of a signature, but I can always journal on that page also. But I am thinking I want to do a double page layout today. So maybe this would work well. Hopefully you guys can hear me. I do not have a microphone. So I'm just going to mark this and just see if there's anything else that would work well. So here is the page that I did where I like connected a lot of pages. So you can see like this side of the signature has lots and lots of pages, and on this side I actually like ripped them and made a layered effect for my page. I may do kind of a mini tutorial on that later, just kind of show you guys my process for that, but I think I'm gonna go for this page today. So I'm just gonna clip my journal. This journal doesn't lay flat very well, which I'm kind of sad about because I love it so much, but it does not lay very flat at all. Okay, so I am just going to pull out some elements here and start laying them out on the page. I got this in a Happy Mail from one of my pen pals, and I loved that it had like all these different leaves on it, and it was already made into like a flip out, so I might use this. In fact, I think I might on this page. And then I have this tag, which I like, just for a splash of orange, and I pulled these little flowers off along with some buttons, so I'll show you how to turn these little floral flowers into an element that you can use in your journal by making them much flatter. Some fussy cuts. I don't know, maybe I kind of want to cover this. I like her face, but I don't know if I want the treehouse to show, so might do something like that. I could always do like a little collage element there. I know I want a journal on the back of this tag, so I need to incorporate some orange into my page. Okay, so I am going to do a collage. I'm just going to use some of these coupons. I guess I need to cut it. I really want to show my entire process, and so that's why I don't really fast forward or, you know, edit out cutting and picking out elements and things like that. Like, I know a lot of YouTubers do, and there are people who prefer it both ways, but I think that it's a more real depiction of my entire process if I show you guys how I go through my decision-making process on what I'm including in my pages and how I'm tearing things and yeah, just like really putting them down on the paper. So I actually forgot my ink. Okay, I'm back. Grab my ink. So yeah, like I was saying, I know there are people that prefer it one way or the other, and I'm never going to make anybody or everybody happy. So I'll just do what feels right, and hopefully you guys enjoy it. By the way, if you are enjoying my videos, definitely just hit that subscribe button in the, in the description box, and ring the little notification bell so that you'll be alerted when I put up a new video. And also, I would love to hear your comments about my layout today, and like if you would have done anything differently. I would love to know that too. I'm always open to suggestions, and I don't claim to be an expert at all, but I do know that we learn from others, so yeah, I'm always open to hearing other people's opinions. Okay, so I'm really liking this side. I don't know if I want to use this now that I'm thinking about it, or maybe I'll use it like this. So like a flip out this way. Yeah, I think I might do that. So I'm actually going to just move these off. Kind of keep them in the same order. I like to do my whole layout before I glue anything down. I just feel like if I decide later to change something, I can't exactly do that if I've glued things down. So that's why I am doing it this way. So I might do that. So I'm just trying to kind of work around the leaf elements that are already on this little folder, and kind of use up some of my little items that I pulled from my stash at the same time. So I am going to use some of this. It's just a blank, like at the beginning and end of each book. There's like those blank pages, and so that's what this is. And I just want to add some contrast here, since the fussy cuts are basically the same color as my background. I just want to add some contrast there. So I'm just going to do that by adding in some little scrap pieces. This is from an envelope that I cut. Yeah, see, here it is. Didn't know I had writing on it. So yeah, I'm just gonna do that, and I like that. And yeah, so I think I'm going to glue, like ink and glue, and so yeah, I'm just gonna do that. Actually, told you this is live. I am going to show you guys, I promise to show you how to put these together to use in your journals. So I just pulled the little backer piece off. And sometimes you have to cut them, but I'm just gonna pull this little brown thing out. So it's like the fuzzy thing. And then I will glue the two together, and I'll just use Fabri-Tac to do that. Move my journal out of the way. This is where I do all my coffee dyeing, so that's why it's all stained. So I'm just going to put a few drops. My glue is glued shut. Put a few drops there and just glue the layers together. And I'm being careful to alternate where the petals end up. A little hole in the center is a good judge or guide for lining them up, the two layers. Okay, so I'm just gonna get find it, little circle punch, and punch out a backer circle. This is double layered, so that'll work well. I can do both. It doesn't have to be huge, just enough to, there's the other one, just enough to create a surface to glue on when you attach it to the page. So obviously this is the top and this is the bottom, so I'm going to glue my circle to the bottom. Okay, and then I just have some little vintage buttons. So there's one. And I'm just gonna glue the button. You can hot glue these. I find Fabri-Tac works just fine, so I like it and use that. So I'm just gonna set this one aside and do the second one. You can save these little brown center things for something else. You know, junk journalers, nothing is ever trash, right? So it's kind of a nice texture with that fuzz. I don't know. I don't know what I'd use it for, but I'm not throwing it away because that's the point. Okay. Glue on my center backer. Hopefully you guys can hear me. I know I've had comments about my videos being very quiet. Maybe I need to get a microphone. Like, I feel like I start out talking very loudly, and then by the end of the video I've like quieted down to my normal volume. Okay. So I feel like this one I need to kind of fluff up. The back of the button was kind of rounded, so I think those are so cute. So those are nice. Like, I might make an altered paper clip out of them, or two rather, but I'm just gonna let them dry for now and get back to gluing. Okay. Okay. So now I have decided, I think I want to create a tuck spot out of my little folder here. So I'm just moving my clip. And so I'm going to glue along this outside edge and the bottom after I ink it. Definitely like inking elements in my page. I do not ink everything though. I just feel like sometimes having different finishes, like edge finishes, creates more interest in your pages. So that's why I don't ink everything. Sometimes I ink nothing, but usually I ink at least a few things. So I'm just using my Fabri-Tac again. I love this glue because it grabs really fast and it does not cause your pages to warp like a lot of other glues. But the downside of it is that because it dries fast, you have to recap it or it just kind of dries up in the nozzle and gets kind of gummy by the end of the bottle, which is not fun. So I'm just going to press that for a few seconds, let it get good and dry. So I don't know if, I mean, obviously this flips open and I was planning to decorate the inside. I don't know if I want to decorate the outside. I love it the way it is. The only element that I might want to cover is just that, like the little words there. So I might just use like a sticker maybe, or some of my other tickets and coupons. That's too big. That sticker maybe, I like that. And maybe this, yeah, we'll do that. Very involved decision-making process here. So yeah, tell me in the comments what your favorite items to use for collage are. Yeah, it goes like this. I knew it was directional, I just didn't know which direction. So I might actually make it go over the page, and that way it creates kind of a reinforcement also. My husband is singing in the background to my son. Dang. This is so hard. Do y'all ever have stickers that just do not want to come up? That's this. Okay, here we go. And that way I can get my whole stamp on the page also. I probably should have added some glue. Hopefully it will stick, otherwise I can always glue it later. So there, I like that. Okay. So I'm just going to score it with my finger, and that way it will open well. Okay. Inking. Oh no. Oh, that was so lucky. Okay. Inking. So I'm just going to go through inking and gluing, and I am going to spare you guys having to watch all that because I have quite a few elements to glue down. So yeah, I'll be back in a few minutes to finish. Okay, I have everything glued down, and well, except I decided to put a label on this side, so I just pulled this little ribbon die cut, so I'm going to write that. I also need to find a ribbon that will work, or a lace. Yeah, lace, I think. So I think I'm gonna go for this one. Obviously I do not need this much for my little tag. Yeah, so I'm just gonna ink the section that I want to use. Be shorter than that. Okay. Save the rest of my ribbon, lace, whatever. So I'm just going to ink this because I do not want the bright white. Usually I will coffee stain ribbon also, but this is obviously one that has not met coffee. So there, it just looks a little less bright. I think I'm going to tie it like this today. Hear my son squealing in the background. Linen, wild boy. So I just really love that. And this tag came to me like this. I'm sure it's just cardstock, but it came in a Happy Mail. And I just love it. So I am going to write growth on this. Oops. I do not have the best handwriting, but it is mine, so I use it. Growth, T-H. Oh, it's pretty centered. I'm very surprised. So I'm just going to glue that down. I am going to grab my date stamper. Oh my gosh. A little tip for you guys, if you do not want your fingers to get all gluey, which I know is a struggle, use your pinky, because we don't typically use our pinkies to do things like placement, and so I just wiped away a lot of excess glue with my pinky, and now I'm not going to get glue everywhere. So I think I will journal off camera, but that is essentially my finished tag. I'm just going to date stamp here and journal, and then it will tuck in just like so. I am going to show you guys how to finish making our little altered paper clips. Recap my pen. Scissors. Okay. So I'm just going to cut out some rough circles. These go on the back, so they don't have to be perfect. But basically, we want it to be large enough to have a section for the glue, but small enough to hide behind the back of the flower. Okay, so also a note, you want the opening to be free, and so you can tuck it like so, as if you're paper clipping. If you feel unsure about how to achieve that. So then you would just glue like that, and then it would clip on your paper. And this side would be free, always. Oh, this side would be free always because no glue is going on this side of the paper clip at all. So I'm gonna do it with that method, just so you guys can see. So as much glue as you can possibly fit on this tiny piece of paper, the better. And see the little clump that came out that had dried because I haven't been recapping my glue properly. Okay, so then just press it down or curl this part toward the flower. Just make sure it's pressed down really well. There you go. Little altered paper clip for your journal. And so I'll just make the other. Hopefully this piece is big enough. Again, lots and lots of glue. This is what's going to hold the flower on. I did do another tutorial for you guys a few videos ago, making ribbon altered paper clips. So I used like fabric that I had cut into a ribbon, and yeah, so here's a second altered paper clip tutorial for you. So now it's just a clip. So I was thinking to use, after my journaling is done and I want to clip everything in, I was thinking to use it sort of like this, maybe. So just like that. And then I have an extra to use later, or to send in a happy mail. But yeah, that's my junk journal with me for today. Thank you guys so much for joining me. And again, hit the subscribe button if you would like to see other junk journal with me videos, flip throughs, thrift store hauls, you name it. If it's junk journal related, I will probably make a video about it eventually. So yeah, thanks again for watching. Have a good day.